For the first time ever, the Legacy Six Flags and Cedar Fair parks are about to start announcing their new for 2026 capital as the same chain of parks. And while we already know a decent amount about what's coming in 2026, I predict that there's going to be a few major surprises along the way, including one for Cedar Point. Now, before I get into my predictions on which parks I think will open up a new ride in 2026, let's go over the list of parks that I do not think will get any capital in 2026. Obviously, Six Flags America is closing forever, so that's off the list. Six Flags Darien Lake, La Ronde, Frontier City, The Great Escape, and California's Great America. In my opinion, all these parks could very well not be a part of the Six Flags parks a year from now. And for this list, I'm going to start off with the Legacy Six Flags parks first, followed by the Legacy Cedar Fair parks following that. This is Theme Park Brandon, and starting things off with Six Flags Mexico. Now, this park is a solid park, and they could definitely benefit from having some new rides and roller coasters, for sure. Now, it's already been semi-confirmed by corporate that they're going to be opening up a brand new family boomerang coaster. Obviously, a Vekoma boomerang coaster, just like what Kings Island opened up last year. These are great rides, guys. I really like this fit, and it would not surprise me at all if we would see more of these style of rides open up at other parks all across the chain in coming years. Kings Dominion, Canada's Wonderland, Six Flags Great America. A lot of these parks could benefit from a ride like this, so it makes great sense. Speaking of Six Flags Great America, a year after they're opening up their record-breaking Wrath of Rashaza B&M dive coaster, it's already been semi-announced that they're going to be opening up a new kids area. And my big question is, could it be Snoopy? Could we start to see Snoopy be inserted into the Legacy Six Flags parks? I would be totally okay with that. I would not complain about that. I do not think that we would see the Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes throughout the longevity of all this. I think they're going to stick to one. Which one is it? That's the big question. Let me know in the comments which one you think it would be. As far as Six Flags Great Adventure, well, it's already been confirmed that they're basically removing a record-breaking launch coaster and replacing it with a record-breaking multi-launch coaster. The big question is how big, how large, how fast, how crazy, and how many trains are going to be running on it. Is it the Mock Rides Extreme Spinner Tower Coaster concept that they leaked a few months ago in the survey? I think that would be the stupidest thing. I mean, how stupid could you be? You remove Kinda Ka, a marketable attraction, biggest one out there really, for another concept that is unsure of. Like Six Flags Cedar Fair really screwed up with Top Thrill 2 because it was closed all but 6 days last year. Now they're really going to ask another company, Mock Rides, to say, hey, your tallest coaster you've ever built is around 220, 30 feet, whatever it is. Can you go 400 feet? These people, I'm telling you guys, sometimes I just want to whack them upside the head. They're really not with it 100% when it comes to these decisions. It's just stupidity. I mean, how could you, if it is true, they're building that style of ride, a 400-foot tall launching coaster that's not even a full circuit ride, so it's a shuttle coaster, so capacity is going to be bad, and it's going to be 400 some feet with the spinning trains. Again, people need to wake up. This company has one chance to make this work, and I love the concept, don't get me wrong. I just don't like the timing of it and everything else that's mixed in. There's too much on the line for this. Now, Six Flags Over Texas is playing way more conservative, and that's great, and that is they're adding a record-breaking B&M dive coaster. Apparently it's over 300 feet tall. That's insane, because Yukon Striker is the tallest, and that's like 60 or 70 feet taller than Yukon. So I love this move because Six Flags obviously needs to invest heavily in their Over Texas property. And just like Great Adventure, I don't think that the former Six Flags really knew what they were doing or did it right for that park. This park, in my opinion, guys, should be a top 5 park in the chain of all the parks. Legacy, Cedar Fair, and Six Flags. And a B&M record-breaking dive coaster, a Giga one at that, could really well put this park in the right direction to really become something special, and I'm really, really excited about it. We already know Six Flags Magic Mountain's opening up this new Vekoma suspended flying coaster. They don't really label it as a flying coaster. It's like if Tatsu and a suspended coaster had a baby. It's really kind of a weird concept. I like it though. From what we know, I really think it's gonna be a solid ride, and the layout looks really cool. How it will interact with the terrain. So this is a project that I'm very intrigued about. Six Flags St. Louis. Could they get Superman Ride of Steel from Six Flags America? I mean, who knows? But whatever rides do get relocated from Six Flags America, I don't see them opening up in 2026. At least the coasters, that is. But St. Louis, I think they'll get a new water slide. Maybe something like the new ride that opened up at Canada's Wonderland. The giant whitewater boomerango. Like, these rides look awesome. And guests love them. And St. Louis, it gets really hot there in the summertime. I feel like their water park is going to get some new capital for 2026. I wish it was RMC Boss. I just don't see it in the cards. Six Flags New England, a new water slide. They just removed all the slides that you see right here over the last year or two. So this water park is in desperate need of some new capital. And with Quantrom Accelerator opening up in 2025, the new coaster, obviously I think the shift and the focus of 2026 will be for Hurricane Harbor, which is great. It's a great water park. And I think that we would get a slide complex, hopefully a mat racer, maybe add another slide or two off the mat racer tower, something that's high capacity and it's going to bring in a lot of people. Now, Six Flags Over Georgia is a very interesting park to me because I love what Six Flags and the new Six Flags is doing with it. And now that Six Flags fully owns the park, I really expect them to spend a lot of money on this park going forward. With that being said, I think 2026 we could see a new flat ride package open up. Maybe a Zamperla Windstar, a Zamperla Nubilez added into the Gotham area. We already know Kid Flash is gone. That you can easily fit 2 flat rides in that area to really complete the Gotham City feel. I think it's too early for a coaster, but I think with an outside chance, Over Georgia could build a new coaster in this maybe it's in the Gotham City area or somewhere else. Who knows? But I'm very excited about the future of Over Georgia, and I think you should be as well. Heading down to Six Flags Fiesta Texas. This is one of the best well-ran parks in the entire chain, and I feel like that 2026 you're going to see a new water slide capital. Again, just like New England, this water park has removed a lot of slides recently, so I think it just makes sense adding a new high-capacity water slide attraction to this, and I think that just makes it would be really, really well for the park. And then 2027, hopefully they get a new coaster. Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, with California's Great America closing, what's going to happen to this park? Could we see Railblazer get relocated here? Could we see another park or another ride get relocated? Now, obviously, Great America, we do not know the timeline of it, but I think it's going to be soon. But could they get a Vekoma Family Boomerang coaster, or what about a Vekoma Super Boomerang coaster located at Discovery Kingdom? It would not surprise me that the animals would go away potentially. But who knows? I mean, there's a lot that could happen with this whole entire thing. And this park, honestly, could very well be sold off as well. But I think there's definitely room for a coaster here still. And it's been, I think, 4 or 5 years since Batman opened up their SNS free spin. So hopefully, again, they'll get a new coaster. I don't know if it's 2026 or not. But they do have some space to work with. So I am intrigued by it. And who knows? It could add a new flat ride for all I know. That wraps up the Six Flags parks that I think could add something new in 2026. As far as the legacy Cedar Fair parks, well, things get a little bit more interesting there because we've already announced that Carowinds is adding a new record-breaking water ride in the Rip-Roaring Rapids plot of land. They're already starting construction on this. It is all confirmed. Canada's Wonderland's also adding a new record-breaking water ride of some sort. What is it? I have no idea. Is it the same thing as Canada's or Carowinds? Who knows? Maybe. Kings Island is rather intriguing for me because we know that they're announcing a new family attraction, but they didn't really come out and say what exactly it was, so I still think it's a slight chance that we could see a new coaster for Kings Island in 2026. Something like a Big Bear Mountain would do really, really well. Or Zamperla announced they have this family multi-launch coaster that they added that they could build. Maybe that's what it is. I think if it's the family coaster, I think it's a Vortex Plot of Land. Makes the most sense. But again, there's so many things that Kings Island needs and where they could build. So I'm rather intrigued, especially now with the Sky Coaster being removed. I think if Vertigo is gone after the end of the year, honestly, and I think that this whole area, including Drop Tower, could get bulldozed and the action zone completely be a whole new area come 2027, 2028, who knows? But Kings Island is definitely a park that I have my eye on. Knott's Berry Farm 2026, Montezuma's Revenge. There's been pictures leaked online of new track being located, or basically driving right next to the park. So that's exciting. Finally, we hear something from that out of that project. The park has not announced it, but I think 2026 will be the year for Montezuma's Revenge to come back to life, which is great. King's Dominion, the year after Reptera, I could easily see them taking a year off. I don't see that happening though. I think we will see a new flat ride package open up somewhere in the park. Maybe they put some money in refreshing the Candy Apple Grove, I think it's called, their Coney Mall area. There's a lot of blacktop there, a lot of just older buildings that it just doesn't look as pleasing as Coney Mall does at Kings Island. But when you add in a few more family flat rides, then I think it'll be really a good fit for the park. Dorney Park is one I'm intrigued with. I think it's definitely safe, and I can see that they're adding a new water slide this year. In 2024, they added Iron Menace. 2026, if they get anything at all, I think it'll be a new flat ride, and I can see something like a Zamperla Air Race being added to the park. Something that's pretty unique to that area, and the park could definitely benefit from adding a new flat ride since they just removed their, forgot the name of it. It's the ride that flips you upside down. Someone in the comments, let me know what it's called. I hate when I do that. Worlds of Fun. Another park that it was the Meteor. I think it was called the Meteor for Dorney Park. Another Worlds of Fun is an interesting park. I think Oceans of Fun, their separated water park, I believe it is still, would get a new water slide capital. It's been like 5 or 6 years for that. But something like that would do really well. I could see a flat ride potentially as well. Again, Worlds of Fun is kind of an interesting park because I just don't really think that Cedar Fair, Six Flags really knows how to market this park and how to expand it, because Kansas City is a really good market and there's no reason why this park doesn't do better, in my opinion. As for Michigan's Adventure, I think they'll get something. I think we could see a flat ride being added to the park, maybe a Zamperla Windstar or a Disco or something that's a new ride. At least this park definitely could benefit from it, though I will say, if Six Flags America does relocate some of the rides, I would love to see their Starflyer be located at Michigan's Adventure. Just saying, I think that'll be a great fit. And then Valleyfair. This park is a sleeper. I think that there's a chance that they could very well be getting a new coaster in 2026. And recent reports have shown that they're clearing some trees out in the Dinosaurs Alive plot of land. What's it for? That's the big question. Is Valleyfair finally ready to build a new coaster? After all, it's been like 15 years. I think it's actually longer than that. It's pretty crazy. This is a great park. I really, really like Valleyfair, and I think that they could easily get a coaster that costs between $10 to $12, $13 million in this plot of land. As far as what type, whatever coaster it is, it needs to include inversions, because currently out of the park's 8 or 9 coasters, they only have one that flips you upside down, and that's the Corkscrew, the aerial coaster that opened up years and decades ago. So God only knows that this park needs a new solid looping coaster. What about a Vekoma suspended thrill coaster? Those look legit. They're comfortable, they're fast, they have a great, beautiful inversions, they're comfortable trains. That'll be an amazing fit for this park. I could also see a Vekoma tilt coaster being added here. I originally thought a B&M Dive. I do not know how much a B&M Dive coaster like Iron Menace would cost opposed to something like Siren's Curse, but something like that in this area would do really well for the park because of the GP and the interaction that these style of rides would have. I just really, really like that fit. Now, it's time to talk about Cedar Point, and new for 2026. I hate to say it, but it's going to be Top Thrill 3. Maybe they expand the layout, get new trains, call up Intamin. I'm joking. As of right now, at the time of this video, Top Thrill 2, knock on wood, has done really well this year for Cedar Point. Which brings me to, I don't know if Cedar Point's going to add anything new in 2026. And at the same time, I don't think they need to add anything new in 2026. I think this park could really benefit from some good infrastructure improvements, and just all around making sure the park's top notch going forward. Because I think 2027 or 2028 will be a big year for the Snake River Falls plot of land. But again, I'm very intrigued by Cedar Point. Who knows? They can add the midway, either the midway connecting the Frontier Town and the Gemini Midway that goes across Millennium Island, new for 2026, with some new flat rides. There's a lot of cool things Cedar Point could do, but will they? We know 2025 they're getting Siren's Curse and a new water slide at Cedar Point Shores. So obviously 2026 will not be a coaster. What else could it be? Could it be new shows? Could it be a new ride? Who knows? But those are all my predictions for what I think 2026 is going to bring to the whole entire chain of the Six Flags parks. And the good news is, in a couple months, we will all find out how many I got right, how many I got wrong, and all these great new additions to the parks. With that being said, check out my Top Thrill 2 review since I just wrote it a few days ago. How it compares to my rides on in 2024 at the video at the bottom of your screen. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and of course, keep riding coasters.